If you thought Talladega was going to be just another superspeedway race, think again. The playoff battle just got intense, and we've got all the drama, the frustration, and the raw emotion straight from the drivers themselves. Stick around, because some of these quotes are absolutely savage. All right, let's kick things off with one of the most gut-wrenching moments of the day, Kyle Larson running out of fuel. Larson comes on the radio and tells his crew chief, Cliff Daniels, it's flashing, and Cliff, looking at all his data and numbers, assures Kyle that they've got enough fuel to make it through the green-white checkered finish. So what happened? Well, Larson said the car started giving him warnings in turns 1 and 2. Then down the backstretch, it started stumbling. And you know what Kyle did? He got out of the way. That's the mark of a true professional right there. Even in his disappointment, he didn't want to cause a wreck.
He was very, sure about the numbers that he had in front of him that we could make it with in the switch where we did. But yeah, just unfortunate that it didn't work out there. It started giving me a warning there in middle 1 and 2, and then down the back it started stumbling, so I just got out of the way. So I don't know, probably one of the more bummer super speedway finishes I've had, just because we were once again in contention and was right where I wanted to be. But yeah, it didn't work out. So we'll keep putting ourselves in contention, and it'll eventually work out.
Now, here's the interesting part about the playoff picture. Even with this heartbreaking finish, Larson actually gained a point to the cut line. But, and this is a big but, he lost a spot in the standings and is now sitting 4th. And Larson knows what's coming at Martinsville. He said it himself. You've got to assume one of the guys below the cut line is probably going to win because they're all really good there. So now it becomes a points battle with a 20 car, trying to outpoint them throughout the night. Despite this crushing disappointment, he said, we'll keep putting ourselves in contention and it'll eventually work out. That's the mindset of a champion right there.
Yeah, you got to assume that, one of them guys is probably going to win below the cut line. They're all really good there. So, yeah, then it's fight with a 20 throughout the night and try to outpoint him. We've got a decent Martinsville package, as does everybody in the round of 8. So it'll be a fight, but I didn't win right there. I wish we would have had those 20 spots at least. So, yeah, that part of it sucks. But, yeah, we executed a great day today and try to do the same next week.
Now let's talk about William Byron, because his day was like a roller coaster of being the hitter and being the hittee. Byron had himself in what he thought was the perfect position. He was on the bottom lane, feeling good about where he was at, ready to make something happen. But here's the problem. They just couldn't get linked up coming off turn 4. You know how crucial it is at these superspeedway races to get that tandem pushing going? Well, the guys around Byron couldn't get it together, and the other lanes just pushed right past them. Then, to make matters worse, that's when Larson ran out of fuel on the backstretch, which completely broke up all the momentum and energy.
Yeah, just felt like I was in the right position there on the bottom lane. We just couldn't get linked up off of 4, and those guys pushed past us. And then had the 5 ran out of fuel there down the backstretch, so just kind of broke up all the energy. And I don't know, just couldn't quite get the pushes to go our way there at the very end.
And then came the question about Martinsville, and Byron's answer was straight to the point. You've got one job. Yeah, that job is to win the race.
Yeah, definitely got to go there and try to win the race, and we've put ourselves in position to win these last 2, so I don't see why we'll be any different there, but just got to regroup and go there and try to win.
What makes this even more frustrating for Byron is that he felt like he had everything set up almost perfectly. He had the restart he wanted through turns 1 and 2, and he got pushed clear, but then they just couldn't get reconnected and couldn't get that energy going for the white flag lap.
Had the restart I wanted to through 1 and 2, got pushed clear, and yeah, just couldn't get it back reconnected and get the energy back going for the white flag lap. So green white checkers are tough. You're just trying to get linked together the best you can, and unfortunately it wasn't that way for us.
Now, let's talk about Ryan Blaney, because he did not hold back with his frustration. Blaney actually thought his team did a great job. After the last pit stop, they got control of the race, and everything was looking good. They were in the driver's seat, literally and figuratively. But then, it all faded. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Blaney said some guys were saving fuel or something and wouldn't push. He was pretty surprised that a couple of guys weren't pushing when he expected them to. Here's what he said.
Yeah, I thought we did a good job. Got control of the race after the last pit stop and just faded. Had some guys saving or something, I don't know, and wouldn't push. And it was pretty surprising. A couple guys weren't pushing. Figured that we'd have a little more help than that from some people. But yeah, I thought we did a great job of getting ourselves in the position that we needed, me and Joey. And then, yeah, it just fell apart and finished terrible. So try to go have a big day next week. That's all we can do.
What do you think he's talking about? Drop your theories in the comments below. All right, folks, this is the segment you've been waiting for. Joey Logano finished 16th and now finds himself in a must-win situation in Martinsville. But it's not just about the finish. It's about what he said and who he called out. First, let's talk about Joey's day. It was a battle from start to finish. He led some good laps, which is always nice, but when it mattered most, they weren't there. The first stage didn't start well for them. Then in the second stage, a caution during the green flag pit cycle put them in a bad spot. But Joey thought he was in a good spot at the end after the pit cycle. Now here's where this gets really interesting. After the pit stops, Joey had his teammate in front of him. He literally said, "I had my teammate in front of me," which is kind of a perfect lineup. It's what you'd want.
Then I thought we were in a good spot there at the end, and after the pit cycle, I had my teammate in front of me, which is, kind of perfect lineup is what you would want, and can't say everyone did a good enough job to stay up there and do our parts. So really, really frustrating, really frustrating, I'll tell you, because you're so close, and when you see in front of you what you got to do, and you can't do anything about it, it's frustrating. But
Whoa! Did Joey Logano just call out his own teammate on national television? Why, yes, he did. You can feel the frustration in those words. Imagine being in a playoff race, having your teammate right where you need him, and things still not working out. That's got to eat at you. Man, if anyone had a worse day than running out of fuel, it's Chase Elliott. His day ended before it really even began. Chase was caught up in a crash early on, and when asked about it, he said he hadn't even seen it back yet.
I don't know about the crash. I haven't seen it back, but, I saw someone get turned sideways, trying to get slowed up, like normal, and I ended up getting turned sideways and slid into people, and then they slid back into me, so I'm not really sure about that. But, yeah, I hate it. I felt like we had ourselves in a good spot before the cycle. I didn't feel like we executed the cycle very well. That put us back in the back again. I'm not sure if that would have helped us miss the wreck or not. Obviously, all that's very circumstantial, but, nonetheless, it is what it is. I can't change it now, so it's all eyes on Martinsville, and try to go up there and get a win.
Let's end on someone who actually had a decent day. Christopher Bell finished 8th, and more importantly, he gained 17 points. When asked if that's a successful day, Bell was measured in his response. Yeah, it's good, but he knows the reality of the situation.
Plus 37 seems really good, but you got to expect a bottom 4 winner, either in the 9, 12, 22, 24. Really, any of those guys, myself, the 5, any of us could win at Martinsville. So plus 37 turns into plus 1 whenever you have a new winner, and it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle all day next week.
What do you think is going to happen at Martinsville? Who's going to win? Who's going to advance? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because we're going to break down all the action from Martinsville next week.